Hi guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well day or night whenever you tune in and see this. And of course, if you celebrate Halloween, happy Halloween, right? So I'm Athena with the mask, goddess Athena with the mask. So yeah, that's what I'm going with for now. So yeah, this is going to be a general reading for fire sign Aries for October 28th through November 9th. It is a general reading, so it can cover love, friends, family, health, etc. So always take it how it resonates for you if it does. And this reading may resonate whether you're an Aries sun sign, Aries rising sign, Aries moon sign, or even if your Venus is an Aries for matters of love, okay? Or if you just have a lot of Aries in your chart, or maybe nothing at all, right, with Aries. But there's usually something that you can find, hopefully, that you can resonate with. I also wanted to say, I am back, right? I traveled across country and moved. And I took some time off because usually I don't take off for the holidays or anything. So now I am back and it feels good to be back. So thank you guys, as always, for your patience and everything. And this is just my temporary little setup for now. So it's not the most beautiful, and I'm trying to cover that lamp in the corner with this blanket. But yeah, anyway, we're going to get into your reading here, Aries, in just a moment. I've shuffled all your cards and pulled them ahead of time. But I did want to go over a couple astrology notes that are general for everybody during this time period. So I'll try to, after this reading is done, since they're live, I'll try to post in the description box below when exactly this tarot reading starts, in case you've watched either the Libra or the Scorpio before, in case you don't want to hear all of this stuff again. And the other thing I wanted to mention real quick too before we get into the astrology notes is all the readings that I do are timeless. Okay, so for instance, that means that for some people, this reading could resonate 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future, days, hours, minutes, etc., or even years. Okay, so that's why I always put timeless in the title after that. All right, so let's get to it here, Aries. Okay, so oops, I just messed everything up here. Well, I didn't mess it up, but I just knocked it over. Okay, so Aries, we started officially Scorpio season, right, on October 23rd, and October 28th, which was yesterday, we had a last quarter moon, and then coming up in 1 day from now, since today is the 29th when I'm filming this, on October 30th, Mars, which is your ruler, Aries, is going to be entering into water sign Scorpio and leaving Libra finally. Okay, so that could be a particular note for you since that is your ruler. Okay, so if you do know or don't know, right, Mars represents, people always think of the god of war, right, the Roman god of war. So they think of anger and frustrations and fighting, right? But then also that's the more shadow side of Mars. On the more higher vibrational side of Mars, you have creativity, leadership, and wherewithal. Okay, so always, try for everyone to not let the anger and frustrations and fighting get to a crazy amount, and try to work on the more higher vibrational side of Mars, right? Okay, so then moving forward for your astrology notes, on November 4th, we have a new moon in Scorpio, right, since Scorpio season. Some people like to do their manifestations on a new moon or creating magic or goals. You can do it on a full moon. You can do it any moon, right? The intention is always the most important. And then also on the same, not the same day, the following day, November 5th, okay, Venus, which covers love, money, assets, and like bigger forms of wealth, right? Venus is going to be entering into Earth sign Capricorn, okay? So, if there are some love, money, assets, bigger wealth themes that mix in with Capricorn themes of getting more serious, Saturn energy, leadership roles, responsibilities, that kind of thing, but just having a more serious tone with some of those things possibly may come up for you. All right. And then this time, it is on the same day, also on November 5th, Mercury, right, which rules communications, electronics, to name a few, is going to be entering into water sign Scorpio. Okay. So there could be, some crossover communication, electronics themes with Scorpio themes like death, rebirth, secrets, creativity. Okay, so these are just generalizations, but these are key notes to watch out for if there's certain things that tend to maybe happen to you during those notes, but it all just depends, right? Since it is a general reading. Okay, now the last astrology note here is that Athena Pallas, okay, is an asteroid, not a planet, right? I am Athena, but I'm not the asteroid, of course. Is going direct on November 8th, okay? And it's been in retrograde since about July of this year. So Athena represents, right, talents in the arts, of course, wisdom, defense, intuition, and justice, to name a few. Now, when we talk about this Athena Pallas asteroid going direct, in regards to like wisdom, sorry, it's itchy, we're going to ask ourselves, or a good question to ask ourselves is, what is wise, who is wise, who says so, and kind of question, all forms of wisdom, okay, whatever that means for you, okay? And then also the other thing I wanted to mention real quickly is that when we talk about defense, right, with Athena, we think of like a shield or a sword, right, that kind of defense. But there's also in this time period to think about defense as far as our bodies and our immune system. So hopefully that will become even stronger now since Athena Pallas is direct. So yeah, that's all I have for you as far as the astrology notes, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get into your reading here in just 1 second as I kind of rearrange this since I messed it up a little bit. I do have some music on in the background. I'm going to try to keep it further away. It's just for the dogs so they don't bark. So occasionally there's some commercials because it's just, some like new age instrumental music or what have you. Okay, so I'll just wait for that for just a second for the commercial to stop. But what else can we talk about in the meantime? Yes, so I wanted to, briefly talk about, for some people, if they're not aware of, what Halloween is all about originally, or if, just even get a refresher, right? So Halloween is a holiday for some people, and it is because it is throughout different cultures known as, the time of year where the veil between the worlds is the thinnest between the living and the dead. Okay, so you have Halloween, you have Dia de los Muertos, you have All Souls Day. Okay, so you kind of have these like crossover things and many others I won't get into right now. But basically, it's the time of year where, if you are paying like homage to your ancestors, the ones that you know about, right? You could get more messages from them during this time frame if you're open to that. You could see things out of the corner of your eye, your eyes playing tricks on you, but usually it's not, okay? Especially this time of year. So that's, just a little side note. So I'll go ahead and get into your reading more, and if there's another commercial, we'll come back to this subject. So let's start off here with the main 6 in your center here, Aries, and then we'll work outside with another tarot deck, which is your tarot confirmation cards. And then also we'll talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck as well to get even more info. And then at the very end, we'll do a couple oracle cards. I also wanted to say too, welcome back to everybody. I really appreciate, your patience here with me while I took some time off. So thank you for coming back to my channel as always. And if you're new, welcome as well. And just wanted to say that I do take a picture, one photo at the end of all the cards, and I post it on my Facebook page in case you want to see the cards up close or in more detail at a later time. So you can do all of that by just clicking in the description box below and follow the instructions there. All right, so let's call out your main 6 cards. Aries, you have the Ace of Cups in the reverse, Temperance right side up, 3 of Swords in reverse, 10 of Staves right side up, 4 of Staves right side up, and 6 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so yeah, so Aries, it seems like, oh, one more note too. If you're new or if you've seen me before, I always try to mention it, right? This first row here at the top is energy starting around October 28th. It's not exact. It can be a little bit before, a little bit after, going through the rest of this week and weekend. And then the second row is kind of that first week of November till about the 8th or so. But again, it's not exact. Okay, so Aries, like I was starting to say, with this Ace of Cups in the reverse position, this could be energy from the recent past or still lingering around, but possibly you yourself or someone you're dealing with or your general environment situation doesn't feel particularly abundant at this time, or doesn't feel like their emotions are in control. Also, there could be a lack of resiliency or believing in yourself or believing in someone or something, right? Okay, because normally when the Ace of Cups is right side up, it's like your cup is literally running over here, okay? And it's abundant and the emotions are in control, okay? And also resiliency, right, that I've mentioned. In other decks, sometimes you see there's a lily flower, right, in the pond instead of an ocean, okay? And so the lily flower is a symbol of resilience because it's growing in the water, right, not the land, okay? So it seems like in the beginning of your reading here, Aries, there could just be a little bit of a blockage in some way. So actually, before we go forward to your second card, we're gonna stay here with the first one and actually talk about what is on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, the Llewellyn deck, the one with the yellow border. This is where my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about it, okay? So what's on the top and the bottom of the deck, this is energy from the recent past, okay? So you have Queen of Wands in the reverse position and 9 of Cups right side up. Okay, so it seems like in the recent past, and what is recent, you have to ask yourself that. It could be a couple days ago, hours ago, minutes ago, months ago, years ago, right? There was some type of lack of feeling support from others, and also possibly not embracing an enlightenment, a spiritual download, an aha moment, okay, with the Queen of Wands in the reverse position. But also on the same side of this, right, you have the 9 of Cups in the right side up position, 9 being almost 10, talks about leveling up in some way, in a relationship, a job, etc., whatever it is, a project, okay? But, you know, normally when you see the 9 of Cups, it can talk about putting in a lot of hard work into something and now taking a break to almost enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? Because you see this woman with all of her cups all around her, and now she's going to stop and kind of enjoy herself a little bit. And then you also have the honeybee, which is the worker bee, talks about individuality, right? But also how you work as a team, right? Because the honeybees work for the queen, okay? So it could be that in the recent past here, Aries, when we're talking about these 2 cards alongside your first card, the Ace of Cups in reverse. Let me put them all together. So yeah, this could be basically saying here, Aries, that the reason why you could be currently feeling a lack of abundance, your emotions could be out of control in some way, or you're not feeling resilient or believing enough in yourself or others or in something, is because you don't feel enough support from your support system currently around you or in the recent past. And also there could have been a blockage where you or the other person or general environment wasn't receiving this enlightenment, these spiritual downloads, these aha moments, I finally understand something, even though on the other side of this, you could have been enjoying some of your past labors and fruits, right? And it could be for some of you guys, not everybody, right? It's a general reading, but for some of you, it could also be that even though there's a blockage and you don't feel a lot of support around you or abundance or resiliency, you still feel your own individuality and you're taking a moment to pause before moving on to 10, right? Because this is 9 of Cups, okay? So it could be that you're taking a pause in some way, or someone's making you take a pause, or the universe in general, before you get to 10, because 10 is endings and new beginnings, right? Okay, now moving forward, your second card here. Oh, yes, I also wanted to mention before we get into that is that I see, as far as the major arcana, Leo and Sagittarius energy here. Excuse me. So you could be dealing with a Leo or a Sagittarius, or they have a lot of Leo or Sagittarius in their chart, or you do, or the general environment, or nothing at all. But I just wanted to mention it. Okay, sorry. Now, moving forward, that Sagittarius energy we were talking about shows up here in your second card, the Temperance in the right side up position. Okay, this card is an energy of patience, right? Transmuting energy, having one foot on land and one foot in the water, having a balance between the conscious and the subconscious, right? The masculine and the feminine. There's so many different dualities and how you can look at it, okay? But it really is a slowing down of energy here. And I was saying that before, right? When we talked about your first card and the 9 of Cups from your past here. So, like I said, it could be that the universe made you slow down, or someone else made you slow down, or the general environment situation, is making you slow down. Okay, because I feel like this is generally more. The 6 cards in the center is more present, current energy, but it could also be lingering a little bit from the past, right? All right, now moving forward, your next card here is a really good card, okay? You have the 3 of Swords in the reverse position. And that's actually how you want to see this card, because that talks about the 3 of Swords when it's normally right side up is talking about heartache, pain, betrayal, lower vibrational frequencies, being exhausted, right? These 2 Japanese women here on the side are very emotional about this Japanese man taking off on the horse, okay? But it is in reverse for you here, Aries. So this could be saying for some of you guys that you're getting over this heartache, this pain, this worry, this low vibrational frequencies, or even exhaustion, or the other person is, or general environment. But however you see it or take it for yourself, it is a good card. And that could be happening more towards this weekend or the beginning of November here, okay? Since we're a couple days away. Now, your 4th card here coming up is the 10 of Staves. Here you have that 10 that we were talking about that was put on hold a little bit. All right, so this is also known as the 10 of Wands in the right side up position here, Aries. And so this is about those endings and new beginnings. You see this African woman here, and she's carrying all these wands, and she has a baby on her back and a child in front of her, right? So she's planning for the future. She's building something with not only the wands, but her children, right? And so you can look at these as metaphors. What are you planning for the future here, Aries? And how can you get ready for this ending and new beginning that could be happening for you the first week or even second week of November? All right. So very nice energy though. All right. Now, your next card here, Aries, has a little bit of a blockage, okay? But just so you know, as like a little fast forwarding here, your sixth card is a really good position, and so so are some of the other cards here as well. So don't get too bummed out about anything like right off the bat. But let's get into it. Your fifth card is the Four of Swords, right side up. So you see this Japanese woman, and she's bearing this sword. Okay, so the sword in tarot represents the intellect. It represents anxiety, fear, worry when it goes into the negative side of the intellect, right? So she's trying to bury something that is possibly stressing her out or making her worry or have, more anxiety, okay? But, I do feel that this could be something from the past because for all we know, right, since it is a general reading, Mary, okay, maybe maybe that's your name, or you're dealing with a Mary, but I was trying to say maybe, is that maybe this sword was actually buried before and she's unearthing it and digging it up. But then she's like, oh, wait, shit, actually, I don't want this. I don't want this anxiety, worry, fear, overthinking about however it relates to you or the person you're dealing with, a general environment situation. So then maybe she's rebearing it. Okay, I really do feel like this could be, going back to your first card a little bit, possibly for some of you, where you didn't feel totally abundant and you didn't have your emotions in control, right? Which definitely always leads to anxiety, worry, overthinking, or you weren't trusting in yourself and others or the universe that something good was going to come along. Okay. All right. Now, moving forward, your sixth card, like I said, is a very good position. You're letting go of those swords, okay? And that's a pretty quick turnaround, right? Because it's one after the other. All right, here, Aries. So here you have this Japanese man, right? When it's right side up, he is meditating on how to turn these swords around so they're up in the air and not face down, because that's represents when they're face down, that anxiety, worry, overthinking, even depression for some, okay? But just being too much up in your head, okay? So it looks like when it's in the reverse position that somebody has reached that point, maybe towards the end of that first week or so, or even second week of November, all right? Because that's, how you want to see this card. And that means that he's reached that enlightenment, okay, or that meditative state where you can let that anxiety, fear, worry, overthinking go. Okay. So I'm just going to wait for that commercial to stop because it's so annoying. Okay. 1 second. All right. So before we move on to your confirmation cards, actually, I forgot this is where Spirit wanted me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck, okay, along with that sixth card, the Six of Swords in reverse. Okay, so again, this is past energy that could still be lingering around or just giving us more information on why this card showed up, okay? So in the recent past, you have the Strength in the right side up position and the King of Sacred Circles, also known as King of Pentacles, in the right side up position here. And of course, this Strength card we'll talk about first, right, is that Leo energy that we spoke of earlier, all right? But it could be that in the recent past here, Aries, that you or someone you were dealing with a general environment situation were very courageous, was very strong about something, not just physically strong, right, but inside, okay? And this is why you were able to finally, at the end of that first week of November, even second week, let all those anxieties, fear go, okay? It's because of your strength or someone around you that's influencing you or someone you're dealing with a general environment situation. Now, also, when we have this King of Sacred Circles in the right side up position from this past energy, you see this older Native American man here, and he's playing the drum, right? This card is a very stable, earthy energy, but it's also about him passing down stories to the younger people in his village, right? So it's also, he's a king, right? So people look up to him. He has a lot of responsibility. Okay, so it's that's what I was going to say. Yes. It's kind of similar energy to your fourth card, the 10 of spades or 10 of wands, right? Where I was saying that somebody is planting seeds for the future, for an ending, a new beginning, with the wands on this woman's back and the children as the metaphor. They're planting seeds from the future. And then you have in the past the King of Pentacles or King of Sacred Circles, planting seeds for the future with telling stories and lessons to younger children. Okay, so it's like this similar energy is actually, even if it sounds stupid or corny to you or someone else, general environment situation, it's actually very beneficial to tap into that energy. However, you are able to do that. Okay, so now let's move forward into your confirmation cards here. So I'll call them out loud and then we'll go in order. We have Queen of Cups in the right side up position, Four of Cups right side up, and Five of Wands in reverse. I'm just going to put those up there out of the way for a second. All right. So these first two confirmation cards is past energy usually, and then the third one is a combination of past and future, but it's more future energy. All right. So here we have Aries in the past, the Queen of Cups in the right side up position. You see this beautiful woman sitting on her throne, but she's surrounded by water, okay? And she has her cup. Water is the emotions, cups are the emotions in tarot. So she's in control of her emotions, but not in a way where she's completely denying them in a negative way, but she's controlling them for a time and a place, right? She's a queen. She has responsibilities to her kingdom, all of that, okay? But she also has the support behind her of the throne. That's just a metaphor for your support system. So it could be Aries in the recent past, you yourself or the person you're dealing with, or general environment maybe felt more supportive in the past. The emotions felt more grounded and in control, and there was this general, more peaceful energy in the past, okay? And this Queen of Cups is coming in here and confirming the Ace of Cups in reverse and the 10 of Swords right side up here. You can see it, there you go. All right, so this is basically saying to us that this is why possibly in the beginning of your reading, in that first, end of October here where we're at currently, and first week of November, where you feel like your emotions are out of control, maybe because some support system was taken away from you, or you didn't feel like it was the same as it was in the past, or there's just more erratic energy and is not as peaceful as it was in the past, okay? Something, also about practicality and growth. There was more of it in the past, or you felt that way, or someone else did, the general environment situation. Okay, so that could be why the Ace of Cups is in reverse. Now, when we look at the Queen of Cups along with the 9 of Staves or 9 of Wands, I'm sorry, 10, 10 of Staves, 10 of Wands, right, is here because it's, two women that are, controlling their emotions, using the support system around them, and keeping that peaceful energy and balance. Now, there's also water in the background of the 10 of Staves, okay, too. So she has her emotions under control, so she can take care of her family, so she can do whatever she's going to do with those wands, right? Make a house, business, whatever, okay? But really nice energy, okay? So we're just kind of confirming what we already know. All right. Now, your second confirmation card is the Four of Cups in the right side up position. So this is saying here, Aries, in the recent past, you yourself, the person you're dealing with, general environment situation, okay, wasn't particularly happy with the current options that were being given to them. And so it's a little bit of a mistrust energy in this card sometimes, how I see it, and that it's hard to know that there's another cup that's going to be offered if that woman just changed her perspective or just remained patient, okay? Because if you think about it, she has currently everything that she needs in some sense, where she's got clothes on and she doesn't look too thin, right? She's not super hungry, maybe, okay? But there's emotionally, right? The cups represent emotions in tarot. Emotionally, there's something not super fulfilling in the past here or the current options, okay? So emotionally, if she just has a little more patience and trust in the universe, something more fulfilling will come along. Okay, but this is past energy, but it's coming in here and it's confirming the Temperance card in the right side up position and the Four of Swords in the right side up position. Okay, so in the recent past, this energy possibly led you into that Temperance Sagittarius energy where you said, okay, I am going to slow down and just be patient because that's what the universe is telling me. Even if I don't like it, my arms are crossed, I'm still going to try to do it. Okay, I can relate because I'm a Sagittarius and it's harder sometimes for fire signs to be patient, but it's just a generalization, of course, because everybody can, it's hard to be patient, right? But, going forward here, when that Four of Cups is also confirming the Four of Swords, right? It's talking about, well, if I don't like my current emotions or someone else's current emotions or the emotions of the environment, it maybe makes sense to dig up the past. Remember how I said that? And I don't normally say that with this card. If you watch any of my past readings or if you've watched me before, I don't always say that maybe the sword was already buried and she dug it up again and then decided to rebury that. I don't always say that, okay? So maybe this is about, slowing down and doing that for you in some way or the other person or general environment situation. Maybe that will bring about that emotions in the future or opportunities or options in the future that will be more resonate with yourself more with your emotions, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, now moving forward, your last tarot confirmation card is the Five of Wands in reverse. Now, when I first saw this, I was totally confused why it was confirming these two cards, because it's confirming these two really positive cards. But after I reflected on it for a moment, I figured it out. Sorry, we have that commercial on the music again. I'll just try to wait for a second. I'll have some water. Hold on. Okay. Because it's not done. Hold on. Hang on. Okay. I'm just gonna hopefully talk a little louder. Maybe you can still hear me. And it'll probably stop in a second. So what I was saying originally is that when I first saw this Five of Wands in reverse, I was a little bit confused why it was confirming these two really good cards. But then after I thought about it for a few minutes, the answer actually came to me pretty fast. 1 second, a little itchy. Okay, and hot, sorry. There we go. Can't see sometimes. So let's talk about what this card means in reverse before the two cards it's confirming. With the Five of Wands in reverse, this is usually saying that somebody needs to, not take life so seriously. They need to, yes, right on the bell there. They need to have more practice in playing in their life and planning for the future. Again, that planning thing, planting the seeds for an ending, a new beginning, planting the seeds for future generations that we talked about earlier with the King of Pentacles, all of that, okay? So when it was in reverse, it was confusing me because I was like, why is this card saying that you need that when you have these two really positive cards, right? Both of these swords cards in the reverse position, and that's how you want to see it, the Three of Swords and the Six of Swords, right? But it basically was telling me that there could be, for some of you Aries here, or the other person you're dealing with, a general environment situation where you were like determined in some way to not take help from others, to not take life not as seriously, to not play and practice and plan for the future in a certain way. Okay, since it is a general reading, it will be different for everybody. But that's possibly why you had to wait even longer with the Temperance and the Four of Cups in the right side up position for this letting go of the anxiety, worry, overthinking, because you wanted to do it on your own, if that makes sense. Okay? Or you didn't want to play or practice, you really wanted to take it seriously. Okay? So either way, the outcome is still beautiful. But it maybe just takes a little bit longer, right, than it would necessarily take if you had been open to getting some help, right? So, hopefully, it's not going to resonate with everybody, right? Because I said it's a general reading, but maybe that's a message for one particular person because I kept hearing it, okay? So anyway, that is it in regards to the tarot. But before you go, I wanted to do your quick little oracle cards, right? So your first oracle message here, Aries, is the elk. Look how beautiful that is, all right? You can see it. And it says, stand tall and maintain your dignity no matter what, and others will treat you with the respect that you deserve. All right. So very nice. So that could be a particular message for some of you guys at this time. You can also always look up and encourage everyone to look up the spiritual significance or shamanic power animal significance of an elk. Okay. All right. Excuse me. And your second oracle message here, your love oracle message, whether you're watching for romantic love or platonic love with friends or family, or even self-love, is chemistry. And it says there's a strong magnetic attraction here. And you see these two people, in a tight embrace, and they're looking at this little like glowing light here. Pretty cool. All right. So you can take this obviously for the different ways we were talking about love, right? Since it's not always romantic, but if it is romantic, you have a strong attraction to each other, a magnetic attraction. If it's with friends or family, right? It could be the same thing. There's a strong connection there, right? So you're born into your family, but you hopefully get to pick your friends, right? So it could be you're just noticing more of the strength of the friends and the family aspect in your life at this time, or they're reminding you to. And also, if it's self-love, it could just be also knowing within yourself that that you are powerful, that you are, even when you're not taking care of yourself the best, right? There could be something inside of you, different parts of yourself, right, that are trying to bring you back to the better side of yourself. So you could have a magnetic attraction with your inner child, or your spirit guides or guardian angels, or something inside of you, right? So I'll leave it there for you to interpret it how it resonates for you, okay? Because I could go on and on. But your last oracle message here, Aries, and it kind of looks like an Aries card because it looks like fire in this card to me, okay? But it's called the Ringmaster of Scrutiny, and it says discernment, clear vision, and details. And then you see this kind of like wizard-like guy here, and he's holding a wand and the fire, right? That's why it reminds me of Aries and fire sign. Okay, and then there's even a little fairy over here on the side, and this magnifying glass in this book and all this knowledge, right? But it's really telling you, it's a message for you here, Aries, to have a clear vision, to make sure you look over all the details, right? The mouse is looking into the magnifying glass there, if you can see it. There we go, get focused. All right. So yeah, that could be a particular message for some of you guys at this time, or anytime. It's always good to make sure you're seeing something clearly, get a little closer with the details, and discernment is to know, right, what is one thing and what is something else, what is truth and what is false, what is, having the ability to see past illusions and see something clearly, right? Because it says clear vision. Yeah, that's the best way I know how to say it right now. So anyway, those are your messages, Aries. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your views, for your shares, for your likes. If you want to comment too, always feel free to let me know if this resonated for you or anything else you want to say, reach out about. But yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a break here and then come back later with Taurus. So yeah, you guys take care and happy Halloween again if you celebrate, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.